Hey everybody. So welcome back from spring break. Hopefully you didn't go anywhere, and you you continued to practice social distancing, and everybody's back and ready to start for this week. It is worth taking a little bit of time just to recognize that things have changed. Right, as you saw last week, I posted a syllabus addendum. This is basically saying, because of everything that has happened with COVID-19, we may have to change some scope or elements of the class. The biggest one is that we're going to reduce the emphasis on lighting and rendering for Project 2 and 3. Really, the project isn't going to change. It's just I really tried to encourage you to use Arnold in Project 2 and 3. If you use Viewport 2.0, that's okay. And I'm going to grade the lighting and rendering less sternly or with less emphasis. And so that's really the only thing that's changed for us. However, I realize that some things may have changed for you personally. We have a very mixed group of people in this class. We have some people who were living on campus, taking this class remotely, and they may now find themselves in a completely different location. We had some people who were taking this class as dual enrollment, and I don't know if you were going to your high school and using a computer there, or if you were able to work from home. Either way, whatever's happening right now, I recognize that some of you, your situation may have changed, and it may have made this class more difficult. If something has changed and made this class impossible for you, let me know. We're working on some alternative solutions for people, but I don't want anyone to fail because of something out of your control. And so if something has changed that has made this like almost undoable for you, or seemingly undoable, contact me as soon as you can so we can work something out on how to make this doable again for you. And we're working on some pretty creative solutions, so don't think that anything is impossible. So I know a couple of people have contacted me and told me that like their computer situation has changed, but so far it seems like most people are still able to get to a computer that should be able to run Maya passably well. I don't think that we are a disruption-free semester is no longer an option. Everybody's having to deal with a different lifestyle because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But it shouldn't be something that ruins your semester. I can work with you. We can come up with solutions for that. So be sure again to contact me if there's anything I can do to help. And just contact me if you're having just normal, everyday questions about Maya, about the class, about your grade, about all of those things. So, as wild as the world seems right now, we're just going to continue from here into the class, and try to not lose any more momentum than we have to. So let's hop in and look and see what we're doing this week. And so a couple of things to point out in the news. I did post the syllabus addendum. Read through this. It's mostly just information about how you can, like some of the things that have changed in the class, and some of the things about contacting me. Some of this is not true anymore. I think the DMC is going to be open for maybe another day or two, and really that's just so people can sort of get last minute things in order before we close it up. That may happen sooner if the state or the CDC or somebody comes up with some other mandate that requires it. So in terms of content this week, we are on week 9. which is way further along in this semester than it kind of feels like. Um, so week 9, we have a couple of things that we're going to be doing. Obviously, directions and checklists, but for the video lessons, we're going to just jump straight into where we left off, which is rigging the spoon. So basically, you should already have a spoon model, and we're going to put some deformers in it. We're going to, create some controls for it, and we're doing this so next week we can start animating the spoon. I recognize that because of everything that's happened the last 2 weeks, you may feel a little behind right now. So if we go back to our table of contents, that's one of the reasons I kind of like how this is structured. So even though rigging the spoon is a little bit difficult, you should be able to sort of carve out some extra time in the week if you feel like you've fallen behind in week 8 where we were texturing our cereal box. So obviously we talked about UV unwrapping and creating the textures and exporting it to Photoshop or Photopea, and then we talked about Arnold optimization. Again, this is the element that if we need to scale back and render with Viewport 2.0, we can. It doesn't mean you have to. If you still want to try to render with Arnold, that's perfectly fine. Like, I think you'll get a great render. You'll get a much better render out of Arnold. Eventually, you will be in the midpoint review class in your sophomore year, which we talk about that in the next few weeks, or in a few weeks from now. When you're in that class, we're going to want to look at this work again. It's basically a class you take in your sophomore year that leads to your upper level classes, and so we review all of your work to make sure you're ready to move on to those classes. There's a good chance that at that point, if you do render in Hardware 2.0, everything will be back to normal. We'll be able to access the computers a little bit better. And so we may go back and just re-render this in Arnold to get you a better piece for that. So just recognize that may be something you have to circle back on. But you're going to probably circle back on all of these by that point too. So let's go back to week 9. So anyway, the reason I was looking at this week 8 stuff is if you happen to get through the week 9 videos and get the rigging done pretty early, this will give you a chance to kind of go back to week 8. I'm also not opposed if you feel like you're completely caught up and you want to move forward to week 10, that's okay. The only real thing is like the discussions. I'm not don't rush through and do all the discussions for the entire semester. Kind of misses the point because you kind of have to be able to talk back and forth. So we do want to talk a little bit about some people have already posted. That's cool. So basically what we're doing in this discussion is we're going to be sort of studying pose a little bit, right? So we deform a character because we want to be able to convey something more than it's just location, right? And although it's very simple, it's a spoon. We're looking at like the way the spoon is posed. And so what I want you to do is I want you to find some poses on the internet of an animation that you like, or it could, let's see. An animated film or short film or a trailer or a cinematic from a video game. So something animated. And I want you to find a still image and I want you to post it, but I do not want you to tell anybody what is happening in that scene. So really your job for the initial discussion post is just to post an image that you found. The other half of this is then you'll comment and try to I don't want to say guess, but try to figure out what is happening. Like what are these characters doing, right? So example, is Jonathan walking or dancing, and what indicators from the deformation make you think that that's what he's doing, right? Why do you think dancing more than walking, or why do you think walking more than dancing? Really, what this is about is learning how pose as an element of animation works as a tool for communication, right? This one image is communicating a lot strictly with the poses of the characters. And so what you're going to do is post an image, and then other people have to try to figure out what's going on in that image. Okay, we'll go back. Yeah, and so the only other thing that I would say is your revision submissions. Make sure to, if you have some stuff to submit, these links should work. I'm pretty sure I've renamed it now where it makes more sense. Yeah, now it's Submission Spring 2020. Yeah, I got a couple of people in there who've popped in. I think these are just some revisions from an exercise. So if you have any revisions you need to submit, that's still open from Project One. And if you have any questions, like, don't hesitate to send me an email. I'm also open to, if we need to, if you're having issues. I'm also open to doing some live chats, like I was going to say Slack, but Slack is a paid product. So something like a Zoom meeting, or there's a new one called Jitsi that is a open source meeting where we can just meet a few people at a time, and I can help you all work through stuff. So the biggest thing is communication right now. If you have any questions, if you have any problems, like, letting me know so I can help you work through those. So the hiccups of the semester don't turn into major problems for you. Again, like, I know that this is a unnerving time, and a lot of people are very nervous about what's going on. I think just continue to do what the recommendations are from the CDC: social distancing, wash your hands a lot, all of those things, and I think that this will eventually pass, and we can sort of get back to our everyday lives. But for right now, I think we kind of have to settle in and just keep working and just keep doing the things that allow us to progress forward. And I'll be here to help you however you need. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks.